had an awesome time when they came to Reading, Pennsylvania.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best house shows I've been to in a while.
Yeah.
Great matches all night.
Meet and greets. That was cool.
And yeah, and continue to do that, you know.
Yeah, don't get away from it.
Don't, you know, or if you start to beat Vince, as I've said before, you know, don't become big-headed and forget about the fans, you know. Continue to do the things for the fans. I think that's one thing that hurts Vince, too, is he doesn't have little things like that. I mean, obviously you might not get Cena and stuff.
Yeah.
And even some of the middle stars, you know, like a Shelton Benjamin or something, it'd be cool to go to an event and say, hey, intermission if you want, you know, you can, you know, over on this side of the building, it's going to be Shelton Benjamin. You know, it can give fans a chance to choose or, you know, chance, you know, I mean, half the time autograph signings aren't very often, and, you know, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and we all are. We all love to go. We all love to go and whenever we hear like they have a DVD that's out and they're going to be signing it to go and meet. You know, I mean,
Even if the movie sucks. We used to do it for the autograph.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the movie.
You don't get, you know, wrestling's one of the few things that you get a chance to do that. You know, baseball, it's not very rare, except for where our friend works. They occasionally get a baseball player or football player. But you don't too often, you know.
Yeah.
Well, as Joe mentioned, tomorrow night is the debut of NXT, which I guess stands for Next. It's taking place at ECW. It's a lot like Tough Enough. They're going to pair FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling guys, like young up-and-comers with veterans. We're going to train them and try to mold them into stars.
They're all SmackDown now.
It's kind of like Bryan Danielson, who's been wrestling for like 10 years, and as a former Ring of Honor champion, has to go on here pretending he doesn't know how to wrestle.
Well, they've been talking about him, though.
He has to learn how to wrestle. It's kind of funny. I think he'll be the breakout star.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I probably won't even watch it. It may be one of those like.
I'll watch it and see what it's about.
Well, now, how are they working that? Is Ezekiel Jackson going to be the NXT champion?
No, that belt's just
done. So he won it for nothing?
He won it, from what I've heard, he's won it to have a big push when he goes to SmackDown. Because he's going to be on SmackDown this coming week, so now he can say he's the last ECW champion.
He retired that belt.
They can say he was a world champion for 2 minutes.
By 15 months. Yeah, I'll probably check it out and see what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be nice. It's kind of nice, you know, because then if them guys do come to Raw or SmackDown, if you don't watch it...
Now, the ones they're training them, are they going to be on same ones every week?
I guess so.
So they're going to change them off every so often?
I think they're
yeah.
I think it's going to be however it is. Like if Goldust has like Yoshitatsu or something.
I think the veterans.
Well, then it might be worth seeing Jericho at least.
Yeah.
Which is I know is Jericho going to stay now? He's a heavyweight champion. He's going to be on NXT.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe they'll change it.
And I feel bad for Christian, the poor guy stuck on that show. He carried ECW for the last year.
Well, he'll still be on SmackDown. The guys are still going to be on their respective shows. Just will do that too.
So we'll see. We'll check it out. We'll check back next week. We'll let you know what we think.
We'll let you know. We'll let you know if it got canceled.
The WWE announced their second Hall of Fame inductee, Antonio Inoki.
Kevin called that last week.
Who? Yeah, he's psychic.
He just had some Oriental guy. You don't look alike anymore.
Nobody cares, but he was like the Ric Flair of his day in Japan. He really was the best Japanese wrestler of his day. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about him, but
I don't know anything about him. I've never heard of him.
When they were talking about the famous wrestler versus boxer and Inoki versus Muhammad Ali, what they failed to mention was it sucked ass. It was designed like back in the day of boxing. It was used to go 15 rounds. And all Inoki did was lay on his back and kick at Muhammad for 15 rounds. You know, I mean,
yeah, it was terrible.
But as John said, he was like a great wrestler. He wrestled Hogan. He wrestled Flair. I mean, a who's who in wrestling. You know, Inoki faced him. So, and he started New Japan Pro Wrestling. So
yeah, I think that's his.
I mean, he is a Hall of Famer. I mean, I like that Vince is putting somebody in that like is somewhat famous, but not as well known as, you know, unless you're a huge wrestling fan, like except for Kevin, because he occasionally.
Time for the Hall of Fame that actually matters.
Yes.
The WWR Hall of Fame. That's right.
Right, bitches.
He is the AWA Southern Tag Team Champion twice with Marty Jannetty.
Ooh. Why don't you say who the hell it is?
It's a guessing game.
Yeah. He's the NWA Central States Tag Team Champion, again with Marty Jannetty. No one else would team with him. AWA World Tag Team Champion.
Al Snowwood.
Twice. That's true.
That's who it is.
He had to change his name and he was embarrassed. He was a TASW Texas Tag Team Champion. That's a tongue twister, is it not? That was with Paul Diamond. He got sick of Marty Jannetty. He was a TWA, not the airline, heavyweight champion. He was a European champion. He's a 10-time Slammy Award winner, 95 and 96 Royal Rumble winner. He's a 5-time WWE Tag Team Champion, twice with Diesel, snob, once with Stone Cold, once with Cena, once with Triple H, a 3-time Intercontinental Champion, a 4-time Heavyweight Champion. Of course, I'm talking about,
Let me guess. Zach Gallen.
Shawn Michaels. I'm going to ignore that. Shawn Michaels. I think there should be no arguments amongst the group. He is a definite Hall of Famer.
Definitely.
If you watched last week's episode, he was our #1 match of the year in 2009.
Well, except for this guy
Except for
over
Kev.
here.
He was #1, the #2. There's some nights he's the best match on Raw when he's not doing a dumb skit.
We're getting beat up.
Yeah. I don't know what more to say about Shawn that hasn't been said.
Yeah. For the longest time, he had the opening of Raw. Had Shawn, him and Shelton that had a hell of a match.
Mhm.
And Shelton did a springboard off the ropes, and Shawn, bam, caught with the sweet chin music. Like,
Shawn, I mean, he's probably the Ric Flair of our generation.
definitely, without a doubt.
Mhm.
He's probably going to go down as one of the top 3 or 4 greatest wrestlers of all time. I mean, wrestlers. Hulk Hogan, who was the greatest, but couldn't really wrestle. He just was
He was a showman, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Flair and
Technical wise.
yeah,
I mean,
Shawn, Brett,
yeah.
guys like that who could actually go.
Kurt.
Kurt Angle,
Benoit.
Hang 'em high.
You guys have
Oh, God.
anything? Any real quick? Any memories of Shawn? A favorite match? Favorite moment? No.
Too many.
He's in the Hall of Fame. We don't even like the guy.
Well, I have to say, my fiance is like a huge Shawn Michaels fan. Shrine to him.
Every girl in our little group
As much
loves
as-
Shawn Michaels.
As much as he worships God, that's how much Missy worships Shawn.
Yeah. And Kevin's wife is in love with him.
Didn't chase that one.
And,
That's a-
but yeah,
Okay.
probably one of my memories of Shawn, other than him and
Taker
at Mania, was him and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually, I mentioned don't pick up his book. It's a really good read. In his book, he says about they won over what they were scheduled for. They actually won 7 minutes over, and they came back and like Shawn kind of felt bad, like, oh man, I feel sorry. Now somebody else has to go short. And Undertaker, who Shawn, anybody on that roster, there's nobody he respects more. And Taker's like, that was 7 minutes well spent. You know, so I mean, when your peers are like, we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Triple H told him the same thing. Like, you guys, like, it had to be one of them. Like, how the hell am I going to go out there and drop that?
Yeah.
I think
Short of me blowing up the building and dropping on my opponent, how am I going to beat that shit?
He was in one of the best ladder matches of all time.
Shawn
Him and
Razor.
Razor.
John was?
Yeah.
Oh, he's pointing at the Shawn Michaels picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually the very
He couldn't
first,
get up the ladder.
ladder match. Really.
Yep.
Yeah.
They set the bar for ladder matches.
Mhm. You retired Ric Flair. Well, retired.
From the WWE.
He moved. We threw him right to TNA. That's what he did.
Kicked him all the way down to Florida.
I don't know if I like that Flair going over to TNA, sort of like wiping his ass on Vince.